What's cracking, YouTube? It's going to be a different video than usual. Today we're going to talk about sinkers and how I go about making my fishing sinkers for catfishing and all the equipment I use. I guess we'll start off with where I get my lead from. And that comes from me being a professional at breaking cast nets. So there's one, and then there's two that I got to chop up. I'm sure I think I have another one somewhere that is just about in this shape, but I'm trying to get, I use it for casting in real sketchy areas, but yeah, I'm really good at breaking these. I buy ones with real lead so that once I get to this point, at least I can still salvage something out of them, you know. And I do repair my cast nets if I can, if it makes sense, but there are times where I get them so hung up that they're toast. So these are a couple ones that are toast. They're unfortunately a lot of money, but you would think I'd have it down as far as where to not cast these days, but no, I still find ways to do it. So I'm going to cut these up. Is what I do is I'll just harvest the lead off of all that, and then I think I actually have pretty good stock right here of yeah, like that's probably from a cast net or two. Filled with lead right there, so we're gonna have quite a bit to work with. So bear with me, guys. Have a beer with me, and let's try to make some fishing sinkers. All right. Well, there we go. That's about 16 pounds of lead, I would say. These nets are about, 1 pound of lead per radius foot, and I throw 8 footers, so 8 a piece, and that was 2 right there. So yeah, that's just a real tedious part of the process, is just hacking these things up, but now we should be ready to go with all that lead there. So I used to use these old do-it molds, and they worked fine. This was back when I literally just used 6 and 8 ounce sinkers. And that was specifically from the bank. Usually if I wasn't able to use that to hold my bait down, then it's probably not a place that I'm bank fishing. But ever since I got a boat and doing fishing bigger water sometimes and heavier currents, I got a need for using heavier weights. So I have these 2 my custom molds now that I sort of upgraded to recently, and these are just absolutely killer. They were not cheap, but they were a real good investment. Now I've got the options of 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 20s, which are just absolutely awesome, these big ones here for fishing big water. You know, originally, if you just stuck with those do-it molds, those were just really hard to find. Sinkers of this size, especially, you know, flat bank sinkers, I don't even know if they really made those. So now I can really get my favorite kind of sinker style shape and the sizes I wanted too. So lots of different things I can make here. These have been really awesome, and one thing I've considered is maybe making a side business out of this. I know, you know, I'm not the only guy who probably really likes using these style sinkers, so if this is something, you know, my viewers are interested in, and you guys, you know, express enough interest in it, maybe, you know, I could turn this into a little side business and start making these for you guys and try and give you, you know, the best deal that I can. But yeah, these are really nice molds, and just real quality builds. Okay guys, well now we're heating our stuff up here. Got our stuff plugged in, so we should be ready to start melting things down here. Lead has been known to make humans really intelligent, so I try and, you know, get as close as I can to this stuff while it's melting down. I'll use these welding gloves to kind of protect my hands, because I have had this spill before and hit bare skin, and it does not feel good, I will tell you that. So once things start heating up, I mean, you wouldn't do this now barehanded, but since there's nothing in there yet, I'll just start dropping this in there. But once it's liquid, it can splash, so you don't want to be doing that without gloves on. Fill up the other one. And it takes a while for the first batch to
melt down. But once you get it liquid, then it kind of goes a bit quicker and melts a heck of a lot faster. Now you'll see some guys heat up their molds with blowtorches sometimes. I would do that if I had a blowtorch, but I don't have a blowtorch, so I find that they do just fine. The first batch might be a little rough, but once you heat up the mold with a little bit of lead, the best part is too is if it doesn't come out right, you can redo it. You can just take it out of the mold and melt it again. So it's pretty easy. Okay, so here we've got our first little bit melted down, and if you haven't melted lead before, what happens is the impurities that are kind of formed around the pure lead on the inside will start to float at the top. And so what I'll do is I'll take a little kitchen spoon and I'll kind of just use that to scoop out all the impurities that have formed on the outside of the lead. And so you can scoop that out, let it cool for a second, and then kind of toss that to the side. And then once you do that, you're kind of left with just pure lead that's ready to pour. And that'll pour nice and easy. Alright, and then if you're a real dumbass, you'll spill it all over the place like me. But now we should be ready to pour our first round here. I'll try and do this while filming. So all you got to do is take your pot and then pour it right into the spot until it comes out there. Then that one's done. You move on to the next. And there we go. Those are all poured. Open it up. And there we got our weights. 6, 8, 12, and a 10. So you see that little piece there, so I'll let them cool off first, but then you can actually reuse that little end piece of the sinker. And you just kind of keep doing that until you are out of lead, basically. There's another one. And I'm just going to keep going to town until I have all this melted. Alright guys, and there we have it. We have our 6s, 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s, and 20s. Kind of staggered it out. I didn't really try and make an even amount of each of these, but got plenty of them. Should be set for, you know, a good amount of time here. And that's how it goes from casting it to this. Yeah, these molds have been killer, and like I said, I've been thinking about doing a little side business. I know these 14, 16s, and 20s, they can get a little tougher to find, especially in a flat bank sinker style. So if this is something you guys would be interested in, you know, I could try and see what I can do there. But yeah, be safe when doing this, and but otherwise, yep, it's pretty easy. So I will catch you guys on the next one. I know this has been a little different video than the norm, but hope you got some info off of this, and we'll see you out on the water hopefully on the next one.